What's up, guys? Glass Jaw Podcast here. I'm your host, as always, Anthony. We're doing something a little different today for this episode. I am recording, putting a little face to the voice. I'm going to put it up on YouTube. That'll be this episode. Maybe I'll go back to just audio. I don't know. I just thought I'd give it a shot. Don't mind the background. I got, my kids' school projects on the wall. And these right here are, where are they at? Those are fish on the wall out there. I'm in the process of moving, though. So when I get my new house, I will be putting up a lot of my MMA memorabilia. I have a bunch of action figures, all that cool stuff that I've collected over the years. So that'll be exciting. But let's jump into it. It's been a while since I've had a podcast. I've been super busy. I kind of have a cold, so if I sound a little nasally, that is why. But we're gonna jump into last Saturday, this Saturday, and then all the little news and fight announcements and social media bullshit, all that good stuff. Same stuff, different look. All right, so Saturday, right? UFC Vettori Costa. Crazy fight. Had a lot going on. They were, going all over with the weight. 185, 195, 205. Finally landed on 205. The good thing about this is that the fight was good. I mean, the fight they threw down. And they both look really good. Vettori got the victory, but I really believe that, 205 is where Costa needs to live. I mean, he really does. I think this guy looked good. He looked fast. He looked on point. He looked really good at that weight class. I think it's a better weight class for him. I think that he has a better chance of making noise at 205. I think 185 is a little too crazy for him. There's a lot of big names at 185. I don't think he can get through. I think Whitaker is going to give Adesanya a run for his money this next fight. I think that, there's Brunson in that category. There's excuse me, I fucking yawned. I got to remember that I'm on camera now. I just think it's a better fit for him at 205. I mean, he didn't look like he lost anything out of there. If anything, he looked better. So, Costa lost. Vettori got the win. And he deserved it. He went in there, he dealt with all this bullshit leading up to it. And then, he got the win and he threw down, dude. That guy took some shots to the face, to the body. I know he was sore the next day. On that card, there was a couple other fights. I didn't get to watch too much of that card. I was busy at work, but let me pull some of this stuff up real quick. Bear with me. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. It's the 25th of October. Fucking month is flying by, and I just had a breakfast burrito, so very rude of me. Okay, so Grant Dawson, Rick Glenn, co-main event on that fight, on that card. It was a pretty good fight. I know Grant Dawson was the favorite. He ended up getting almost choked out at the end of the fight. And then they went to the cards, and it was a majority draw. So I'm sure they'll do it again. It was a good competitive fight. Rick Glenn showed up, so good for him. He showed that he was in there to win. In the bantamweight women's, Jessica Clark-Rose, Jocelyn Edwards. Rose got the win. She got the decision. I think she's on a little hot streak right now. So good for her. I'm a fan. I think she's a scrapper. She's always putting in the work. I follow her on Instagram, and she looked good. Alex Casares, a.k.a. Bruce Leroy. This fight was so fucking good, dude. I mean, it only went 2 rounds, but they were throwing in the first round. He got caught with a knee. It dropped him. It was an illegal knee. He got dropped with a punch. And then he got dropped with an illegal knee coming up. Excuse me. And then he came back, got the choke in the second round, 331 in the second round. So it was a good fight, and hats off to him because some of these guys, they get hit with that kind of shit and they give up and they just see a way out, and that's not what he did. He went back in there, he fought, and it was a good knee, dude. Like the illegal knee would have fucked up anybody. So the fact that he came back, he got the victory, that shows a lot about Bruce Leroy. Welterweights, Francisco Trinaldo, Dwight Grant. Fucking Trinaldo, dude. This guy's 43 years old. Still getting victories. I haven't seen him fight in a long time. But I was excited to see him on this card. And he's always a good fighter. He always puts on good fights. And he's a beast, dude. And he went in there and got the decision. Good for him. I don't know what the future holds for him, but I'm sure, with a win, he'll be back. See what he's got. I've seen some fight announcements. Some of these older cats, last week was Jim Miller. He went in there and he did what he needed to do. And I think, if your body allows you and you stay disciplined and you can get, to those older ages and, continue to perform, more power to you. What else do we got? Vettori. So Bellator was the same night, morning. And Vettori Emelianenko versus Tim Johnson. It was a quick fight. I knew it wasn't going to go past the first round. 264 against 233. Like, these guys are they're huge. Sorry, my back hurts. They're huge. They're giant. I knew somebody was going to get knocked out pretty damn fast. And that's what happened. So I didn't have Emelianenko winning. I had Tim Johnson winning on my picks. The only reason is just because I've seen Emelianenko, like, he'll go in there and he'll look great, and then he'll go in there and look like deer in the headlights. His last fight, he looked a little soft and he looked a little slow and tired and run down, and I thought maybe that's what was going to happen again, but he showed and proved me wrong. But you know what? Hats off to him. He's a legend. He's fucking so dope, and his brother's super sick too, if you guys don't know. His brother fought in Pride. I know he got into some legal troubles, but he's a sick-ass fighter. What else? So this is fight week, right? Saturday, the 30th, October 30th. We have, the title fight, light heavyweight title on the line. John Blachowicz, Glover Teixeira. This fight, I've been waiting for it. Glover Teixeira, man, he is one of those ones. He's gotten back to the title fight, and I'm rooting for him. John, I like him. I think that, he's a good fighter. He's grown. You've seen him, like, in some of his, last couple fights. Of course, against Adesanya, it was a different weight class, but it doesn't matter, dude. 15, 20 pounds. Let's be honest. Like, that's not that much. You're walking around at that weight most of the time anyways. So I think he beat, I know they're always going to say, oh, I went up a weight class, I took a chance, blah, 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 blah. Adesanya is good, and, he did put up a fight, but John, he did what he had to do, and he got the win. And I think, Glover Teixeira's got his work cut out for him. Not that he can't, big, heavy hands. I think if he wins this fight, it's by knockout, 100%. I think, John needs to, like, use his takedowns and really grapple, ground and pound, use that power to hold him down, and take advantage of, because if you stand and bang, it's going to be tough. Excuse me. Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen, that's coming up. That's the co-main event. I'm glad this fight's going down. I'm really happy that it's not Sterling. Sterling's garbage. I don't even think he should have been fighting for the title, let alone, won the title. I got to sneeze. Shit. But, it is what it is. Sandhagen stepped up because Sterling had an injury to his neck, or he had neck surgery or something, and he wasn't ready to come back. So Sandhagen stepped up after he fought Dillashaw, and he lost that fight against Dillashaw, but excuse me, that could have went either way. I watched that fight, and, Dillashaw, he did what he needed to do, but I think, honestly, he lost that fight, Dillashaw. So Sandhagen's going to come here. He's going to have a little chip on his shoulder. He's going to, do what he's got to do. And Peter Yan, he's no joke. We all know that. But, it's a good fight. I'm more excited about that fight than any other one. Islam Makhachev, Dan Hooker. It's another one, man. I mean, this is a banger. I mean, this fight, this card's free. I mean, it says watch on ESPN Plus. I thought it was a typo, but then I looked. I mean, it's at 11 o'clock, so it's an early one. I'm in San Diego, so it's 11 for me, but that's early. So I know it's in Dubai, but maybe that's why it's free. I don't know, but Makhachev, Dan Hooker. I mean, big fight. You know, we all know Makhachev is a beast. And of course, Dan Hooker, I mean, this guy, he's like, I think he's been away from his family for like a month or two and took this fight just after taking the last fight. And not short notice, but it just hasn't been like a full camp, and he just wants to get in there, and it's a big opportunity for him. He's coming off, he's got the momentum going, so I think it was a good choice. And then of course, Chimaev, he's fighting welterweight. He's been off. You know, he kind of danced around retiring, and then slowly made his way back. Finally on a fight card. He's 9-0. Li Jinglang, 18-6. That's who he's fighting. I don't know much about the other guy, Li, but we will find out on October 30th. I'm excited about that. So let's get into some news. Those are the fights for this Saturday. I'm excited about, the build-up, and, we'll get to see interviews and all that cool stuff this week. But, okay, some MMA news. Let's get into it. Joanna removed from the rankings. Not a surprise. I mean, I don't know when the last time she's fought. I think she got her ass kicked by Rose the last time she fought. She's taking a break. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's good for her. She's made a little dough. She's made her footprint in the UFC. Nobody's hating. I'm glad they took her off. There's a lot of big names out there that deserve that stage, and she's just kind of holding up. She's kind of like a McGregor, just holding up the fucking line. But yeah, so they took her off. I hope, we start seeing some bigger names up there to get to fight for the title. Logan Paul, Mike Tyson, that's in February. I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Excuse me. Logan Paul, Mike Tyson, February 2022. Fucking stupid. But, whatever. I'm sure there's something in this. There's probably more to this fight. Logan Paul probably has some kind of clause that he can't knock out Mike Tyson, or he can't hurt the poor guy. Like, I don't know. Mike Tyson, get your money, and, good for you, because you're probably going to get paid more than you have in a while. But it's depressing to see, to be honest. I mean, nobody wants to see this. It's very comical, what they're doing with boxing, and it's kind of depressing. I mean, I grew up watching a lot of these fights, and Cesar Chavez, and fucking Mike Tyson, Vander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. So it sucks to see like where it's come, and I think that there's a lot of good boxers still. But I it's taken away from them, like the Furies, like the Canelos, like the Plants, like, there's a lot of big names out there that are still doing it and doing it the right way. So it's kind of a shame to see that this is what is happening on the other side of the island. But, whatever. I know there's some frustration. I seen a couple of people come out, boxers, saying like, why are we doing this in our sport? Why you wouldn't do this in football? You wouldn't, like, Mike Tyson wouldn't fucking, or I don't know, somebody in that sport come back. Like, you wouldn't see Mark McGwire play for the fucking Dodgers, next season, or you wouldn't see Barry Bonds go back to the Giants just to go back. You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid, and it's depressing, and it's sad to see, but hopefully this new day and age is fucking ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. I know Dana White came out, said Nate Diaz, they're working on a fight for him. This is his last fight on his contract. I think it's a smart thing to get in and get out, do your fight, and get out of the UFC. I feel like they really trapped down some of these guys. and he could make a lot more money somewhere else. Even if he were to go over to Bellator or fucking Risen or, I don't even, somewhere, he could make a lot more money. So I think this is a good thing. Get the fight and go. But, I don't know. He's a big name. They might throw huge numbers at him to keep him in rotation. Bellator, Sergio Perez, Kyoji Horiguchi. They announced that they're fighting Sergio Perez and Horiguchi. He's the champion in Risen, and Sergio Perez is the champion in Bellator. So they're gonna go at it. I think this is amazing. I love the cross organization. It's great for the sport. I would like to see it more. I really think that it's something that could happen and really elevate MMA in so many different ways. Because there's a lot of talent in a lot of these other divisions. A lot of these other organizations, and I just feel like we don't get to see that. And these contracts really hold people back from getting out there and testing their skills with other people. And I think this is a great way to do it. So hopefully more people, jump on board with that. Fight announcements: UFC, Josh Elliott, Dan Ige. This is a good fight. This is a banger, dude. This is one for the fans. When they booked this fight, they knew it was just going to be a fucking slugfest. I haven't really seen Josh Elliott lately. I know he lost to Jeremy Stevens. I don't know if that was his last fight. Danny Gay, again, I haven't seen him very much either, but I know he's been in there with a couple of good ones. So I'm excited about that fight. Clay Guida, Leonardo Santos. That's coming up as well. That was another fight announcement in the UFC. I'm excited about that. Clay Guida. We all love Clay. He's he's just been there, done that, and it's fun to watch him. I love how the guy's energy is it's off the fucking charts. What else do we got? Before I let you go, I just wanted to get on here, touch base with everybody. I like doing this stuff. I don't have the time that I thought I was going to have to do. Not that anybody's waiting by their fucking computer or their phone to see if I'm going to do a podcast. But I do appreciate everybody that does listen, and I hope I get more listeners. And again, I just do this for fun. Some of my information, could be a little off or whatever. I try, you know what I mean? Nobody fucking sue me. But yeah, so we tried it this way. I'm excited about this week. I'm excited to see the fights. I'll do another cast next week and, talk a little bit about Saturday. I hope there's a lot to talk about. But until then, everybody enjoy their week, and I will see you soon.